मूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Let's do a sankalp. Okay, you guys remember where we were last class? So we are looking at the sadhanas, right? The sadhanas undertaken to reach moksha. So we are done looking at karma yoga. The formula I said for karma yoga was doing nishkama karma with Ishwara arpana bhavna and receiving the results with prasad bhavna. That is karma yoga. After karma yoga, we started with Upaasana yoga. And in Upaasana yoga, the first, so we are basically disciplining the entire personality in Upaasana yoga. So first we looked at the Kayika Amsha of our personality, the physical Amsha, the physical aspect of our personality, how to discipline that. And in the last class, we looked at Vak Tapas, how to discipline the verbal Amsha, the Vachika Amsha of our personality. And it's a very important understanding, and I hope we have all already started implementing in our lives. So I said that anything that leaves our mouth, any words, they should go through these 4 filters. First is anudvegakaram. So whatever we speak should be non-hurting. Second is satyam. It should be truthful. Third is priyam. Priyam means it should be gentle. It should be pleasant, polite, soft-spoken. And finally, it should be hitam. Hitam means it should be interesting for the listener and or beneficial for the listener. So these are the 4 conditions that should be met for anything that leaves our mouth, anything that we are about to talk. And if it doesn't meet all these 4 conditions simultaneously, then we should keep mum. It means silence is better than speaking those words. Okay? So we completed the Vachika Amsha of our personality. And now we are looking at the Manasa Amsha, which is the subtlemost. And because it is so subtle, it is really difficult to manage. It is difficult to attain. And that is why we started with the grosser aspects of our personality. The Kayika Amsha, which is gross. The Vachika Amsha, which is subtler than the Kayika Amsha, but still it is grosser. It is more manageable than controlling, mastering the mind. And then once these 2 aspects are kind of, we are trained into disciplining them, then we come to the Manasa Amsha. And we said Manasa Amsha, it includes meditations of different kinds. And we said that the meditations are, we have divided them into 4 groups. So yeah, these are the type of meditations. We said relaxation meditation, concentration meditation, expansion meditation, and transformation meditation. So now we have to look into these meditations, different types of meditations in detail. So let us start with relaxation meditation. Now, see, any form of meditation in which the aim is relaxing the mind. So that is the particular aim, that I have to relax my mind. And that happens firstly by relaxing all the other parts of the body. So relaxing the mind in particular and relaxing the other parts of the body in general is called relaxation meditation. So physical withdrawal, withdrawal of speech and other organs of action also, then withdrawal of all the five senses, and relaxing completely at all these levels. And this eventually, it results in relaxation of the mind. So in today's age and time with chronic stress and all that, this meditation becomes extremely important. It can be termed as de-stressing meditation, right? So we all must learn to every day sit for a few minutes at least when we are consciously relaxing, when we are consciously not doing anything, nothing at all, no phone, nothing. This is required for our physical health and our mental health. Even we can start with 5 minutes, not a problem. But every day, thoda sa time isko dena hi padega. So, and then, so we can actually use any relaxation meditation, that any relaxation technique that we are comfortable with. It doesn't matter. So we could maybe just lie down and mentally watch all the parts of our body one by one. Every part of the body from the tip of the toe to the crown of the head. अगर किसी ने योग निद्रा किया है, तो you must be knowing, in the beginning of the Yog Nidra, we relax the entire body like this. We just observe every part of our body. So, like we go one by one, mentally just naming that body part. Like we start with right hand, thumb, first finger, second, third, fourth, palm, back of the hand, forearm, elbow. So that way we go to each and every part of the body and mentally just observe that part, and it automatically relaxes. So this could be one technique, one relaxation technique. It is very helpful, very effective. You can try that. In fact, before going to sleep, every day you should try this. By the time you reach, like you can start from the toe, by the time before you reach your head only, you'll go to sleep. You will be so relaxed. So try this technique. Then you could also maybe in a completely quiet room, which is semi-dark or dark, which has a comfortable temperature. Aise room mein you can just sit or you can lie down in Shavasana. And what you can do is you can count your breath, say from 54 to 1 backwards or from 27 to 1 backwards. You forward jayenge, so you are used to that. So it will mechanically happen and your thoughts will go somewhere else. If you go backwards, then your mind is still engaged in the counting. That helps you to relax. Or you could just listen to your heartbeat and count your heartbeats. Or we could just do Anulom Vilom Pranayam or Ujjayi Pranayam. You will instantly come in a relaxed state. Or a very effective method is to just sit, Shanti se, and then repeat the word Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just repeat that word and visualize that peace at all levels. This is also a very effective technique. So these are just examples. Any technique that we like, but we must give some time. Even if it is 5 minutes, consciously that time should be given to relaxation meditation every day. Okay. So this is the first step, relaxing our mind. Now the next form of meditation is focusing meditation or concentration meditation. Now, once the mind learns to relax, then we can train it to develop attention on the object of meditation. Then slowly practice to increase that attention span. So first step is relaxation. Uske baad, second step is to make the mind focus on an object of meditation. And then the third step is to increase the attention span, the length of time for which you are able to focus on that object of meditation, that should slowly increase. So the capacity to focus on a field for a length of time, that capacity plays an important role to determine our success in that field. Correct? Any field, whether it is a material field or the spiritual field. In fact, anything that we do, it requires our concentration. Hai na? Sports requires concentration, cooking, studying, office work, listening to class also requires focus. If in the middle of the class, our mind is wandering around or thinking of messages on the phone, or if we are dozing off, we'll not benefit only from the class. Hai na? So concentration meditation is very important for success in any field. And generally, our scriptures prescribe Manas Puja. So mental worship, like I have mentioned many times, like Shiv Manas Puja, beautifully visualizing every offering, every word of the puja. We'll sometimes just chant the Shiv Manas Puja, then you'll come to know that it's just visualizing everything. The Shodasha Upchara Puja, we are just visualizing. And obviously your mind is completely engaged, right? Your mind is focused on the Ishta Devata. Whenever you are doing a Manasa Puja, your mind is focusing on what you are offering to the Ishta Devata, what you are chanting for the Ishta Devata, how you are praising the Ishta Devata. So Manasa Puja is highly recommended by our scriptures as concentration meditation. Then even Manasa Japa, mentally chanting the name of Ishwara, or Manasa Parayanam. What is the difference between Parayanam and Japa? So Parayanam means chanting any prayer or stotram, like Vishnu Sahasranam or Lalita Sahasranam or Aditya Hridaya Stotram, those kind of things. So that is called Parayanam. And Nam Japa. Japa, as we already know, only one name or one mantra is repeated for a stipulated period of time. You need not even have a japamala. You can just say, okay, for 5 minutes, I'm going to chant. For 10 minutes, I'm going to chant. You need not have a japamala as an alamban after a point of time. Okay. So Swamiji says that all these methods are wonderful methods. Manasa Puja, Japa, Parayanam, and anyone can practice any of these methods, whichever one is comfortable with, for developing concentration. Okay. So I would once again very strongly suggest that all of you take up one shloka or one mantra or stotram or some text, one at a time, chota, baby steps se we can start, and one by one try to learn them. Some of them we can memorize, and others we can just learn to read and chant. That is also so helpful. And trust me, that will not only increase your concentration, not only will it improve your memory and other functions of the brain, but like along with having so many physical advantages, it will refine your personality. It will really make a difference. You start practicing and you yourself will realize that. And I hope you remember, we have seen 3 ways in which we can do Parayanam and Japa, right? First was chanting aloud. that is Vaikhari. Then chanting silently, maybe the lips are moving, but there's no sound coming out. It is Madhyama. And then absolutely silent, absolutely in the mind, no lip movement, no sound. That is Manasa Japa or Manasa Parayanam. So this Manasa part is considered best for concentration. Out of Vaikhari, Madhyama, Manasa is considered best for concentration. Because obviously we've seen that, right? Once we know the shlokas or stotrams by heart, then we will chant it aloud and our mind will again start wandering. It will happen mechanically. So if you're doing Manasa Parayanam or Manasa Japa, no, you will not be able to think of anything else. And if while doing Manasa Japa or Manasa Parayanam, if you are thinking of anything else, that means you are not doing Manasa Japa at that particular time. Because your mind can't be at two places at the same time. So you will get aware that, oh my God, my mind is not on this. So you'll get aware and bring it back. But while chanting, it is very easy, while chanting aloud, it is very easy for mind to wander. But when you are doing it mentally, you have to focus. If there are other thoughts coming, that means your mind has gone that side. So bring it back. Okay? So these Manasa Puja, Manasa Parayanam, Manasa Japa, great for concentration meditation. Other practices like Tratak. If any one of you has practiced Tratak, it's like focusing on, you can do Tratak on a candle flame or on a bindu or on the symbol of Om. So Tratak is basically just looking at a particular object of focus for a length of time. And then closing your eyes and visualizing the same object on the Chidakash, on the dark screen which is in front of your eyes with your closed eyes. So Tratak is a beautiful practice for concentration meditation. So after relaxation, and then we try and do some concentration meditation. Uske baad, the third one is expansion meditation. Now, this is a very helpful meditation for the practice of Karma Yoga. So, ये meditation में क्या करते हैं? Here we learn to expand our mind to visualize the totality of creation. Then only, see, when we see the totality, when we see the whole universe, then only we know our relative significance. The relative significance of this body, mind, sense complex. When we visualize ourselves in the context of the total, we realize that we are nothing but a tiny speck, right? पूरे यूनिवर्स को हम अगर विजुलाइज करते हैं और उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अपने आप को, when we look at this body mind sense complex, we realize that we are nothing but a speck, एक कण के बराबर भी नहीं है, right? And we unreasonably behave as if we are the most significant people in the world. हमारे बिना तो दुनिया will come to a standstill, हमारे बिना तो कुछ नहीं होगा. And also we feel that, oh, our problems are the worst problems in the whole world. We've got such a wrong perspective with regard to our life and our situation. And this wrong perspective, it leads to wrong responses. How we react, how we respond to situations, it is because of our wrong perspective. So when we look at ourselves from the standpoint of the totality, from the standpoint of the entire Srishti, then we know our place, right? So this expansion meditation, it is nothing but the visualization of the entire creation itself. So imagine the stars, the galaxies, the sky, the solar system. So And then uske baad come to this planet. Then start imagining the planet Earth, the continents, rivers, mountains, birds, animals, and then the millions and millions of human beings, and then yourself, and then ourselves as an individual jiva. Where do we stand? What is our significance? So this helps to bring down our ahamkara, the false sense of self-importance that gets diluted. So this is the first step in expansion meditation. So what is the first step? Looking at the entire Srishti, not only this earth, the entire universe, the entire cosmos, and then looking at ourselves in that context. So this is the first step of the expansion meditation. We have to expand our visualization and then look at this body, mind, sense complex in that context. ठीक है, अभी ये first step होने के बाद, as our understanding matures, and then like we have studied about Ishwara also completely, the 3 levels of understanding of Ishwara, right? So as we get more clarity about Ishwara, then the second step is to visualize the whole universe as a projection or manifestation of the Ishwara himself. तो फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या है? पहले तो खाली पूरा यूनिवर्स को विजुलाइज करना है. यू हैव टू एक्सपैंड योर पर्सपेक्टिव टू द होल यूनिवर्स. Once you are able to do that, and once you are able to look at yourself in that context of the whole universe, then the second step is to look at everything in this universe as a projection, as a manifestation of Ishwara himself. So then what happens? We start looking at Ishwara in every aspect of this universe. And when you start meditating on this thing, then slowly, it comes natural to you in your normal waking hours, in your transactions also. If you are meditating regularly on this aspect, looking at the entire Ishwara, entire universe as different aspects of Ishwara. So here what is happening? We are progressing from the Ekrupa Ishwara Dhyanam, which we were doing in concentration meditation. In concentration meditation, what were we doing? We were trying to focus on our Ishtadevta. While we were doing Manasa Japa, Manasa Parayanam, Manasa Puja, we were focusing on Ekrupa Ishwara, on our Ishtadevta. Now here, we are progressing from Ekrupa Ishwara Dhyanam to Vishwarupa Ishwara Dhyanam. Understood? From seeing Ishwara in the form of our Ishtadevta, we are moving to seeing Ishwara in every aspect of this universe. Understood? This is expansion meditation, in which we visualize Ishwara in everything, every speck of this whole creation. We are just seeing Ishwara, Ishwara. पहले हमने galaxies देखे, stars देखे, sky देखा. We looked at the different planets of the solar system. We looked at everything, all the aspects of this earth also. And now in the second step, we are looking at all those things only, but we are looking at all those things as a manifestation of Ishwara. We are looking at Ishwara in all those things. And then, you can even add your own things slowly. कि अच्छा किसी के साथ किसी के लिए कुछ grudge है, किसी के ऊपर कोई गुस्सा है. So then visualize that particular person and visualize Ishwara in that particular person. Somebody has wronged you. Visualize Ishwara in that particular jiva also. Maybe we have fear of certain creatures, maybe we are scared of lizards or something like that. In this meditation, visualize Ishwara in those creatures, in every jiva. Seriously. So that really helps us. That helps Karma Yoga in a big way. Then you actually naturally start looking at Ishwara in every being. Right? And like start looking at Ishwara in people who are your subordinates, who are assisting you. Start looking at Ishwara in people whom you just can't stand. It will really help dilute all your ragadveshas. Okay, so it's a very important meditation, very beautiful. And so here what happens? The attitude of Ishwara Arpana Bhavana, it becomes very spontaneous, because we will effortlessly start seeing everyone and everything in this universe as Ishwara only. So that Ishwara Arpana Bhavana, Prasad Bhavana, it becomes spontaneous. क्योंकि हर इंसान में, हर जीव में, हर पेड़ पौधे में, नदियों में, पहाड़ में, we'll just form a practice to see Ishwara. It will become a habit to us. So Karma Yoga definitely becomes very natural, right? So this is expansion meditation or Vishwarupa Dhyanam. Okay, there is a question. Okay. No, I don't do that anymore. All right. And the fourth one, the fourth form of meditation, this is the culmination of all the three meditations. That is, it is called refinement meditation or transformation meditation. It is also called value meditation. So through other meditation practices, the first three, so relaxation, concentration, and expansion meditation, through these three practices, now our mind is more refined and mind is ready to bring about an inner transformation by changing our thought pattern. So see, we are quite conscious of our physical appearance. We are also kind of conscious about our speech, because they are visible to other people. They are perceivable by other people, right? तो लोग देखेंगे, लोग क्या सोचेंगे, उस डर से भी we keep our physical appearance and we keep our speech refined. जहां तक possible है, we do that. But generally, we neglect our thought pattern, because it is so subtle that other people can't even see our thoughts. So we have this capability to hide our thoughts. We can hide what we are thinking, है ना? So it is very easy to have a not so good thought pattern, not refined thought pattern, with having the physical appearance to be refined. So we should remember that our thought pattern is what determines our life. It is our thought pattern that determines our journey, our destiny. I'll share a slide here. So there is, somebody has very nicely said this, that watch your thoughts, they become your words, right? Whatever you think, the more you think it, वो निकल ही जाएगा in the form of words. Okay, so watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, because they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habit. These are how vasanas and samskaras are generated, by your actions. Again and again and again, you do a particular action, it becomes your samskara, it becomes a habit, it becomes your tendency. फिर जाने अजाने आप वही करेंगे. So watch your actions, they become your habit. Then watch your habits, they become your character, they become your personality. That is how your personality develops. because of your habits, because of your actions. And finally, watch your character, because that becomes your destiny. We always said, right, it is our free will, that our destiny depends on our free will. We have a freedom of choice. So it's not fatalism. We are not just depending on fate. Our destiny depends on all these things. So thought, it is the subtlest bijam. It is the subtlest seed which determines our future. Okay. So Shastras have a very interesting thing to say about this. Shastras, they say the same thing. Yad bhavam tat bhavati. Yad bhavam, as you think, tat bhavati. So you become. As you think, so you become. So in Shastras, there is this concept. It is like this particular concept. It is explained very beautifully by two technical laws, two technical rules, which are called Nyaya in Shastra. They are called Nyaya. Nyaya, they give a lot of Nyayas, which are like technical laws. Ki aisa hota hai to aisa hi hota hai. They are like technical laws, like the law of gravitation. So the two Nyayas that Shastra give, first is Tat Kratu Nyaya. Tat Kratu Nyaya. So Tat Kratu Nyaya means dhyana of the bhakta in this life will determine his state in the next life. So as a person's faith in this life, so will be his condition in the next life. So as you sow in this life, so shall you reap in the next life. This is one part of the Tat Kratu Nyaya. And other Nyaya they say is the 𝐸𝐻𝐵hramari Nyaya. 𝐸𝐻 means kida, like a caterpillar, a worm. 𝐸𝐻𝐵hramari. Bhramari, it means a bee, or we can take it as a butterfly also in this context. So 𝐸𝐻𝐵hramari Nyaya. So there is a blog by Rohit Arya. He says that 𝐸𝐻𝐵hramari Nyaya, or the law of caterpillar and the butterfly. So he explains how our Rishi had this unique observation on the psychological process of change and about the mind and its power. We become what we focus our attention or our emotions or our energies on. This is the law of the caterpillar and the butterfly, the 𝐸𝐻𝐵hramari Nyaya. So कीड़ा कैसा होता है ना, like how the slug is, the caterpillar. So Buckminster Fuller, he once said that there is nothing in a caterpillar which tells us that it will become a butterfly, right? Like kaha caterpillar, it's slug jaisa कीड़ा, and kaha butterfly, right? There is nothing in the caterpillar which tells us that it is going to become such a beautiful butterfly. So according to our tradition, the caterpillar, while it is in the cocoon, it meditates so intensely upon the form. It meditates so intensely on that rupa of the butterfly that it transforms from an ugly, slimy, crawling thing to the manifestation of beauty, which can even fly. So this is a perfect metaphor for spiritual progress and its goal. So our Shastra says that this Tat Kratu Nyaya and 𝐸𝐻𝐵hramari Nyaya, they are not just symbolic statements, okay? They are not just stories or metaphors. They are literal truth. That is what the Shastra says. So by intense focus upon the desired object or quality, human or divine, you might want human qualities, you might want even divine qualities, we are transmuted into that thing itself or a reasonable likeness to that thing. So constant contemplation and meditation upon the form of or the rupa of the deva or the guru, or maybe the qualities, the values, they can change you forever. First, you imbibe the qualities, and then they are infused into you, you know, up to the extent that even our physical appearance changes. I don't know if you have noticed, like two people, if they are together for a long time, they start resembling each other. So when you meditate on certain things, when you focus all your energies, when you're thinking about some things, some people, some qualities for a long time, you even imbibe those physical appearance, those physical traits in you. So then definitely the subtle things will also start coming, right? So as you contemplate, so shall you be. So if we meditate on soham, soham, soham means saha aham. Saha aham. Saha aham means that Brahman I am. That I am. So aham. That I am. Means that what? That Ishwara or that Brahman I am. So if we constantly meditate on aham brahmasmi, or soham, after understanding what is Brahman, okay? Not just it should not just be a lip service. After understanding what is Brahman, if we constantly meditate on aham brahmasmi, we become one with Brahman. If we meditate on dasoham, like maybe we are Krishna bhakts and we are like, I am your das, Krishna, oh Krishna, I am your das. We may become really strong bhaktas. We may even serve Ishwara in Vaikuntha or somewhere, right? And if we constantly meditate, so if we constantly meditate on soham, we become one with Brahman. Dasoham, yes, maybe we become really great bhaktas. And then if we keep on meditating on bhesoham, then we become buffaloes, right? So we have to decide whether we want to meditate on soham or dasoham or bhesoham. Okay? So we should never neglect watching or being aware of our thought pattern, because they determine our future. If you leave it unaware, and if that unaware mind is thinking bhesoham, we become buffaloes. Okay, joke. So deliberately think soham, aham brahmasmi, tattvamasi, all the Mahavakyas. Okay, now, so there are, yeah, Bhaja Govindam, yes, Siddhartha-ji. That is Bhaja Govindam in the true sense. Not lip service of Bhaja Govindam. Yeah. So we have seen that there are two types of thought patterns, positive and negative. The positive thought patterns, they take us towards our spiritual goal, and negative thought patterns, they take us away from our spiritual goals, towards more and more bondage, more and more bandha, more and more samsara. Okay. So we have seen these two thought patterns in the form of Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. Remember, the Daivi Sampat, the values which are conducive to self-knowledge, and Asuri Sampat is an obstacle to spiritual pursuit. Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. So, positive thought or negative thought. Ultimately, all these traits, Daivi Sampat ho ki Asuri Sampat ho, koi bhi ho, ultimately these traits are nothing but thought only. So remember, thoughts are like bricks. They determine the shape of a building. So if the shape of the building has to be changed, we have to change the brick arrangement. Hai na? If we want to transform our life, we have to transform our thought pattern, like the brick pattern. We must change our thoughts and visualize ourselves as a transformed person already. मतलब अभी तक transformation हुआ नहीं है, but in this meditation, you have to visualize that transformation has already happened. So in value meditation, we take up every positive value and dwell on its importance to our spiritual growth. Yaad hai, when we were studying Samanya Dharma, the Yama Niyamas, that time at the end of that topic, we saw 5 practical ways to implement them. Usme we saw Vivek. Vivek kya hota tha? Assimilating the value of that particular value by analysis. So that is what we have to do in this meditation. Meditation on a particular value. So we have to meditate on a particular value that we want to assimilate. So think of the pros of having that value. Think of the cons of not following it. So, and then visualize that you have that particular value. You have courage. You have satyam. You have ahimsa. Whatever value that you are looking to imbibe in yourself, visualize ki wo ho gaya hai. Visualize yourself in different situations where you are getting opportunity to practice that particular value, and see how you are implementing it. ठीक है, तो पॉजिटिव वैल्यूज के साथ दैवी संपत्ति के साथ ये करना है. I have given that entire list of दैवी संपत्ति. Maybe we can take one value a week, if not 21 days. If you are getting bored in 21 days, तो ठीक है, एक week तक भी if you can maintain on that particular value, do it for a week. Then go to the next value. Full list we have given, right? You can start visualizing yourself having those values. It's a great exercise. And then along with these positive values, we should also meditate on the negative values. पर वो कैसे meditate करना है? You have to see how it is polluting our minds. You have to visualize how it is hindering our growth. All the negative things, negative consequences that are coming because of those Asuri Sampat, because of following those negative traits. That is what we call dosha darshanam. Remember this word? I had said it's an important word. So do dosha darshanam of the Asuri Sampat, of the negative values. Okay. So after having meditated on the positive and the negative values, and like we have to visualize that we have imbibed those positive values, that we are spontaneously and effortlessly practicing those positive values, right? So agar abhi tak bhi hai nahi, even if at present these values are not assimilated in us, it's absolutely okay. We have to just visualize that we have. Okay? So one by one, take from the list of the Daivi and Asuri Sampat, take one value and meditate on them. And with these baby steps, we'll realize that it's such a beautiful and effective mental exercise that in a few years, we will be completely transformed and refined. People who have had such short temper, unbelievably short temper, are such calm people. We know them, right? So these kind of practices really help this meditation. So even mechanical repetition, that will bring about a gradual change. And if we continue this mental exercise, and we will imbibe these positive values gradually, and all the negative traits will slowly go away. So this value meditation, it refines our mind, making it more positive and suitable for self-inquiry. And now we know that even diseases can be cured just by willing health, right? Just by wishing for health, just by constantly thinking about health. You must have heard about or read Louise Hay, right? Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. You've heard about her? You've read her books? So she talks about healing all sorts of diseases including poverty and scarcity, even those kind of things, you can heal just by changing your thought patterns. Mind is a very powerful instrument. It has got such a tremendous Sankalpa Shakti, and Sankalpa Shakti is so amazing. The more you feed it, the stronger it gets. Matlab, chote sankalp bhi, if you start practicing, okay, I wake up at 7 o'clock every day. From tomorrow, I take a sankalp that I will wake up at 6:30. Utna chota sa sankalp bhi agar aap, you feed your sankalp shakti by fulfilling that sankalp. So that way your sankalp shakti becomes so much more powerful, and then you can make stronger suggestions. And then you can bring about greater change, right? So it's a very, very strong instrument that we have, our Sankalpa Shakti. So this is the fourth type of meditation. So I suggest you take this meditation very seriously, okay? Slowly start with the relaxation meditation. Maybe for 21 days, just do relaxation meditation. Then come to concentration meditation. Say for 21 days concentration meditation, then expansion meditation continue. That we can continue for a length of time. So maybe for 10 minutes we can do expansion meditation, and then, or maybe divide the time. Subah ye karte hai, raat ko wo karenge. So these two are the final stages, very important. So relaxation meditation, concentration meditation, expansion meditation, and transformation meditation. Transformation of our thought pattern. These are our 4 forms of meditation which will condition the mind, and it will make the mind healthy and purushartha worthy. Because the mind cannot sit quiet for even 1 second. If for even 1 second your mind will not be able to sit quiet. Thoughts will keep coming like the waterfall. Vritti pravaha. So Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, it's a very famous verse. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karma krit karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti 𝐕𝐴𝐳. That means one can never, not even for a second, not even for a moment, one can remain without performing action. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karmakrit. Akarmakrit ek kshan ke liye bhi nahi reh sakte. So even if you feel that, no, I'm going to just pack myself in a box and I'm going to not do any action at all, still definitely you will keep thinking that vritti pravaha will be there constantly. Mind cannot sit for a second also. It just helplessly helplessly these thoughts keep coming because of the gunas, because of the prakriti, the sattva, rajas, tamas, all these 3 gunas. So that is the nature of the mind. And because mind is of such a nature, no? So what happens if we don't engage it in deliberate, willful, positive activities, then it will naturally drift towards negative thoughts. So negative thoughts मतलब ऐसे नहीं कि किसी का बुरा सोच लिया, किसी को murder सोच लिया, only that is not negative thoughts, right? So if you don't deliberately, willfully engage it into something positive, it will naturally drift towards, desires. It might just want to binge on TV or something. So any action that takes you away from your spiritual goal, that is called a negative action. So, and it will take us to negative thoughts, negative words, then negative actions, negative habits, negative character, and negative destiny. Remember the whole trail? That is why extra effort is required to discipline the mind and make it think the way we want it to think, not get carried away by what it wants to think. And here I would like to talk about the Ratha Kalpana. Has anyone heard this word before? Ratha Kalpana? No? It's a beautiful imagery. It is presented in Kathopanishad. जैसे हमने Lord Dakshinamurti के पैर में that छोटा सा अपस्मरा demon का imagery देखा था. See, if that imagery is there in your mind, you kind of remember that, okay, I have to keep my Shadvairis under my feet, under my control. So that these imageries are very strong to help us remember certain concepts, certain things that we need to practice. So there is this beautiful imagery which I want you to visualize it. Okay? So the image is of a very beautiful chariot. Okay? Now chariot has a yajamana. Yajamana matlab the host, the malik of the ratha. तो एक तो chariot है, फिर रथ का मालिक है, यजमान. Then there is a sarthi, the driver of the ratha. Then there are 5 horses. Okay, imagine this entire imagery, this image. So 5 horses, and the sarthi has the reins, the lagam, to control the 5 horses. And then there are 5 roads. This is the imagery which is given by Kathopanishad, which we call the Ratha Kalpana. Here, you can see this. So here in Kathopanishad, Yamadharmaraja. So Yamadharmaraja means Yamraj, Mrityu, the Lord of Mrityu. He is giving this imagery to his student Nachiketa. And here, Yamadharmaraja, he compares our life to an inner journey and the human being to a chariot. The life is a journey, and this jiva is the chariot. Understand what we are comparing to what, okay? So the human body is the chariot. The body, mind, sense complex, that is the chariot. Then the 5 sense organs. Remember, have we spoken about the 5 sense organs already? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Okay, we have 5 sense organs. Ears, skin, eyes, tongue. Tongue means tasting tongue, not talking tongue. We are talking about the tasting tongue. And nose. So Shabda means hearing, Sparsha, so touch, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. Rupa means eyes, what you see with your eyes. That is a sense, right? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Rasa means taste, and Gandha, smell. So the 5 sense organs, ears, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose, they are compared to the horses. And the 5 sense objects are the 5 roads. So sense objects kya hai? Sense objects matlab shabda. For hearing, what is the sense object? Maybe you want to listen to some gossip, or maybe you want to listen to some music which is really not good for your system. Or some good music also. So whatever that you desire through any of these sense organs, that is called the object of desire or sense object. Samjha? So eyes ka sense object could be something, that some movie that you want to watch or something. Okay. So everything like rasana, the sense or object would be all sorts of food that we really keep wanting to eat all the time. So you understood what is the sense object? So sense object are compared with the 5 roads. And mind is the reins. Mind is the lagam. And intellect means our buddhi. The Vivek buddhi is the driver. That is the sarthi, the charioteer. And the Atma is the Yajamana, the Ishwara, the Malik of the chariot. It is not doing anything. It is just sitting and witnessing. It is just watching. The Sarthi is doing all the job. Mind is, the Atma is watching. The Yajamana is just watching like a Sakshi. So this famous section of Katho Upanishad, it is called the Ratha Kalpana, the chariot imagery. So इसमें क्या होता है? What is the tendency of the 5 horses? Which are so the 5 horses represent the 5 sense organs, hai na? So what is the tendency of these 5 horses? They are the 5 sense organs: eyes, skin, ears, tasting tongue, and nose. They have a tendency to go towards their sense objects, to go towards the object of desire all the time. They will have this tendency. हर एक sense organ का मतलब हर एक घोड़े को अपने ही रास्ते पे जाना है. एक को ये रास्ते पे जाना है, एक को ये रास्ते पे, एक को ये रास्ते पे, एक को ये रास्ते पे. Correct? Now, if the reins are loose, अगर लगाम को ढीला छोड़ दिया, means if the mind is not disciplined. लगाम क्या है? What are the reins? The mind. तो अगर लगाम को ढीला छोड़ दिया, if the mind is not disciplined, then all the 5 horses, they will go on the road that they want to go. So what will happen? Each horse will pull the ratha where it wishes to go. And now imagine 5 horses pulling the chariot in 5 different directions. What will happen? The ratha will topple or it will break. है ना? So who is the charioteer? अभी किसको करना है काम? The charioteer. The charioteer, the sarthi is the buddhi, the vivek buddhi, the intellect. So the buddhi being the sarthi, it has to take charge of the reins. It has to take charge of the reins. The reins means the mind. So the buddhi has to hold the reins of the mind very tight. And by pulling the reins, it will not let the horses of the sense organs drag the ratha where they want to. समझा? तो माइंड रूपी लगाम को कस के रखना है. और किससे कस के रखना है? कौन कस के रखेगा? बुद्धि कस के रखेगी. बुद्धि, it's our intellect that has to do that. Our discriminative intellect, the vivek buddhi. Because it knows what is right and what is not right. It knows and it has to take charge. It will not let the mind become a hostage to the sense organs or the sense pleasures. So when we say disciplining the mind, means letting the buddhi, the sarthi, pull the reins. Letting the buddhi, the sarthi, control the mind, so that the chariot reaches its goal in this life journey. And it is not dragged away here and there helplessly by the horses. Here and there. You know? So, who has to discipline the mind? The buddhi. Is this imagery clear to everyone? If you want, I'll share this picture. It's a very important imagery, Ratha Kalpana. So always keep this imagery accessible in your minds, because every time you feel that the horses of your 5 senses, they are dragging you, they are tempting us into doing what we should not be doing, taking us away from our goals, just take a pause. So first thing, only take a pause and then let the sarthi, let the vivek buddhi take charge. वो कैसे, you can let a conversation happen between the mind and the buddhi. Let the buddhi, like a mama is explaining a baby something, let the buddhi explain it to the mind. take that pause before the horses drag you here and there. Okay? So the Vivek Buddhi has to take charge and pull the reins of the mind and take the horses of the senses where they are supposed to and not where they want to go. Okay? So now that we know how to discipline the three personalities, there is one more aspect to be considered. That not only should these three personalities be healthy, that is, so Shivani, I didn't get your question.
I'll repeat the question, but you were actually answering that only. My biggest really conflict is that one is you can just let your mind loose.
Okay.
Think, right? One is you, so from Jap, you go, Jap to you go to Paranayam, where you are, Parayanam, where you are actually chanting, you're chanting some prayer or something.
Right.
If you do that, I'm really realizing it brings you to a very calm state.
Right.
But the problem with the second is when you let your mind just keep on thinking, then mind is so powerful that it can actually logically tell you that you can utilize the time in something useful.
Correct.
Very dangerous. Like, I don't know how to deal with it. So, like, a lot of times I don't know how to deal.
Correct. Because the mind right now thinks that this is not useful. That is the problem. So you have to make it realize how useful it is.
Yeah,
so that you have to show it the value of the thing that you are doing.
Right. So that's why my next comment is that only. You were just telling that while I wrote the.
Okay.
While I wrote my mind, you were just talking about that.
Right. So constantly let mind and buddhi have a conversation. Make it a practice. Yeah. It will be really good.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that it is 7, 17, 19. So we'll end here and we'll continue next class. Very interesting topic. Very short but interesting topic next class. We call it FIR. Okay? So I'm just leaving you with that FIR. We'll do that in the next class. Any other questions? Anybody? Are there any questions? हाँ,
मैं मेडिटेशन करता हूँ तो मैं आज एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था और अब सिंपलीफाई करेंगे. आपने बहुत अच्छे से समझाया. मे बी मैं अवेलेबल नहीं था, ऐसा होगा. आज ऐसा लगा बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो गया.
ये क्लास कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था ऐसे
लगा. मैं सोच रहा था कि बहुत सिंपलीफाई करेंगे आप. तो मे बी 1-2 बार सुनूंगा, बाद में ज्यादा क्लैरिटी मिले. या हो सके तो नेक्स्ट क्लास.
मतलब ये चारों मेडिटेशन के स्टेप्स कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगे कि रथ कल्पना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड?
नहीं, मेडिटेशन के जो स्टेप्स बताए आपने.
ओके, तो आप एक बार और सुनिए और मे बी आई कैन जस्ट वेरी सिंपली टेल यू व्हाट टू डू इट. मैं खाली अलग अलग तरीके बता रही थी कि कैसे आपको जो टेक्निक सूट करे उस हिसाब से आप कर सकते हैं कौन सा मेडिटेशन. Listen to the class once again. फिर भी कुछ doubts है तो we'll talk about it.
Sure.
Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just 1 second. Deepak ji,